Okay, here it goes. It's the first video I ever make, and I'm not gonna lie, I am a bit nervous, but I told myself I wasn't gonna think too much about it. Whatever comes out, comes out. I'm just gonna let it flow out. I'm not gonna edit this either. So, I'd like to start off by saying that I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. I used to think that I could force myself to feel better if I ignored my own feelings, if I just bottle them away, forget they even exist, keep my head down, keep on pushing, then things would be okay. But I was wrong. I want to talk about this very deep-rooted idea that men are supposed to be stoic and emotionally unexpressive. I mean, I'm sure you, as a guy, have seen many videos online telling you that as a man, you're supposed to be emotionally unshakable, firm, unexpressive, and it goes even further than that, telling you that sometimes you even need to be emotionless. This whole concept of the stoic man has one deep consequence, and that is the apparent inability of a man to cry. Now, don't get me wrong, men do cry, but when it happens, it is often frowned upon. Shameful, almost like you are less of a man for doing it. I unfortunately have held such stances in the past, and even though I no longer think like that, it's finally starting to take a toll on me. I'm gonna be completely honest. I haven't felt my best in several months now. I'm not exactly sure what changed. 6 months ago, I was feeling great. Then all of a sudden, I'm feeling anxious a lot of the time, maybe even depressed. And again, I don't know what changed. Like, shit just happens. I'm not doing anything differently, but it is what it is. And although I have been on the verge of tears many, many times, I haven't cried once. And it wasn't until recently that I discovered that I have been subconsciously stopping myself from crying. It's like I just couldn't bear the thought of me not being this emotionally firm man like I wanted to be. Now, as a man, you already have it very hard as a man. Men are relentlessly valued in terms of how much they can provide, how useful they are. And if you cannot provide, then all of a sudden you feel worthless. Men are rewarded for their self-sufficiency, not for talking about their feelings. So, of course, we're not going to want to talk about our feelings. Okay? You are looked down upon if you do. And if you cry, it's even worse. So, what I really want to say is that I'm not just here to weep about it. Okay? I've come to find a solution for all of this. During all these months, I've been thinking a lot, and after realizing what the problem was, I've found a solution, and I like to share with you guys. Now, it's sort of like a long-term solution, so it's not going to be easy, but I'm willing to give it a shot. What we as men need to be doing is build communities based around compassion and empathy. I'd say right now empathy is the single most valuable virtue in the world. With empathy, we as men can foster mutual understanding, relationships, and support. We can reduce feelings of isolation and promote the mental well-being we so much deserve. Be honest, how many of you have felt isolated during the past few months, even few years maybe? I sure have, and it's not easy. And the worst part is, you're not really supposed to talk about it. Again, you are afraid to talk about it because you don't want to be seen as weak, as you don't want to be seen as a weak man. So of course you don't talk about it. Let alone cry. You don't cry as a man because you're afraid. You're afraid what people might think of you. So by building these communities, by being empathy among men, we can contribute to a more compassionate society. Empathy is crucial for self-development. I'm sure many of you are on self-development. But thing is, it's not just about a strong mind. It's about being in control of your emotions. You need to be, in other words, you need to be emotion maxing. Yeah. Now, I understand that it's not easy to implement this because you need to trust other people to do it. You don't want to open yourself up emotionally to another person. You don't want to be seen as weak. You're afraid of getting hurt by being vulnerable in front of someone else. But I want to tell you this. If you open yourself up emotionally to someone, to a man who's compassionate, empathetic, and understands your own struggles as a man because he has went through the same, he will not judge you. He will understand you. You can cry in front of your brothers. Now, I'm not claiming you don't need to be stoic. Okay, there is a time and place for that. You need to be in control of your own emotions. I'm not telling you that you're supposed to let your feelings go out whenever you're feeling down. It's not about that. I'm telling you that you need to be in tune with your own feelings. Acknowledge, control, act. Acknowledge your own feelings. Control the way you're feeling using your mind, and then you speak, and then you act. Now, like I said, I understand that, this is going to be hard because building compassion and empathy, building a community based around compassion and empathy can be hard, and it's going to take a while. It's a solution I can see for this big problem among men. But I'm willing to give it a shot because I'm tired of feeling down. Be fair to yourselves. Goodbye.